The Crash Course Live is presented by
Smash It Demolition Derbies, who host Bash for Cash, Blizzard Bash, and Capital City Carnage. Online at smashitderby.com. And Stirring Dirt Racing, host of May Mania's team show at the Golden Spike Arena in Ogden, Utah. Online at stirringdirtracing.com.
Reckless Abandon Derby Apparel and Derby Inc. Magazine. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast, recorded live at the FingerLakes1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now your host, Chris Marquardt.
Good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to this edition of the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast. Excited to have you along for the ride tonight here on number 396. A jam-packed show, as always, as expected, as it should be, here in the final run up to Blizzard Bash. Flights are leaving middle of the week. Drivers are frantically making changes. It's the week of Blizzard Bash. We've had 2 years to prepare for it, and it's as if we never took a season off. We have a jam-packed show tonight. We're going to be talking with CJ Barnes, Tory Heid, and Mike Schmidt. They're working on a couple last-minute changes. Ryan Sangolewski, Corey Ludington. We're going to be catching up with Tim Clark at the bottom of the show. So this it should be a traditional Blizzard Bash run-up show. My biggest apprehension about Blizzard Bash right now is just remembering to get the logins all set to go so that the flight is approved through Southwest and I don't get stuck sitting in the middle of the emergency exit row, because we don't want that.
Yeah, it's definitely a busy week. Seeing a lot of stuff on social media, a lot of guys getting ready. I would safe to say this is probably the most looked forward to show of the year nationally. We got guys coming from all over. It's definitely happening. It's the top of the destination list for derbies. Like you said, it's we missed a year, and people are still building like they just ran last year. So, there's a lot of new things out there. There's Imperials this year. Be interesting to see who's got those. I heard before the show there was some different rules interpretations, so we're going to see how those go through inspection. It wouldn't be Blizzard Bash if there wasn't a little bit of if everybody just went through with inspection without any anxiety or stress. It just wouldn't be right.
It just wouldn't be. That is for sure. Birthday wishes. Lee Sager had a birthday over the weekend. Doug Kirk down in Ohio, he's got a birthday today. And then once again, congratulations out to, that's no good. Derek Treatlow celebrating married life now as he gets ready to make the trip out for Blizzard Bash as well, and already encountering some hiccups here. Jeff Schumann asking if I'm going out to Blizzard Bash. Yes, that is the plan right now.
Did you by any chance see the after picture of Jeffy's car?
What do we got here? There it is. Hey, CJ. Hey, let me put you in.
What's going on?
Oh, not a whole lot. Did I see the nose that was touching the roof line?
Yeah. He definitely got after it. That was impressive. I saw the picture, and then when Alex got the videos up, I watched it. Jeffy definitely did the job in the driver's seat. It was pretty impressive.
Yep. Hunter Wood in the chat. Scott Brown, Marcella Benjamin. It is busy in the chat. I can't even keep up with everything. Dylan Goodwin checking in. Matt Evans. Big thanks out to all the folks that made mention of me and the roof sign and logo post. Marcella was out there in that. You were in that. Scott Brown was out there and all that as well. Big thanks to everybody for remembering us. CJ Barnes waiting in the wings for us. He's trying to load the trailer. That's probably the easiest step getting ready for Blizzard Bash in terms of loading the trailer, notwithstanding the deciding what spares to bring and what to leave home. CJ, how are you?
Good. How are you all?
We're doing okay. Promise we won't keep you long. I know it's a busy, stressful night as you guys get ready to make the trek out. You're going to be running with the no-namers this weekend. How'd the build go?
Pretty good. It was pretty long. Not too stressful, but it should be a pretty decent car.
Do you remember how to do it?
Do what?
Do you remember how to build for Blizzard Bash?
It's been a while, so it kind of using some, taking their new rules and stuff and going with it.
What ended up bringing you back to this? I remember watching you run with the green and black and the orange and black DMP cars, and now Tommy Stark's been able to bring you back to the No Neighbors. Tell me a little bit about what got you back into this side of the game.
I just kind of wanted to. This will be my first year out there without my dad. He passed away a year ago in August, so that was kind of rough. But just didn't really want to do it anymore, and them guys talked me back into coming back out, and kind of running just for him.
Awesome.
It's a pretty good reason.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know what that's like, man. I lost my mom in October, and a year ago October, and you just don't feel like doing much anything after that. It really hits home. So, man, it's great to hear you going back and running for Dad. You were always kind of the hammer when you were out there, so I'm sure that driving style will be a little even more enhanced this year.
Yeah, it'll. You always got to use your head a little bit, but when it's 4-on-4, you still got to get with it.
No doubt.
So Team No Namers this year: Jason Dials, Tommy Stark, Craig McCracken, and CJ Barnes. We're bringing the number 41 back. How tough is it to pack for Blizzard Bash with all the spares, all the changes, all the wild cards that you might face out there? Do you have to just buy more trailers so that you can bring everything you can think of, or do you pick and choose?
I wish, but the truck is completely loaded down. The inside of it, the bed of the truck, and the gooseneck. You got 35-foot long gooseneck car on it with all your spares and all your spare parts, and it's just you think you got everything, and you get out there and you're like, oh, I forgot this.
Crazy.
I saw there was a handful of posts going around that people build out of shops within 45 minutes or so. So while it might not be the name brand that you're looking for, at least there's stuff out there that you can get that's going to get by in a pinch. And
Jason lives only about an hour away, so that's good.
Nice.
It's a big help.
Yes.
Have you guys had the chance to run together as a group yet, or is this going to be a fresh quartet?
Not as a 4-hole. Tommy and I have run together, a few times, not this year, but back in the day. And then Craig and I ran in Ottawa as a team earlier this year.
Cool.
How'd that go?
It went pretty good, besides breaking a 40 spline axle and snapping a couple billet parts in the transmission that it did. But other than that.
It sounds like it's a pretty hard-hitting show.
Well, it just the track was really good, and I needed to just lay off the pedal a little bit. a little too much ponies.
Wow. So you twisted your own 40 spline, or you got it broke by taking a shot?
No, I actually, when I hit somebody, it kind of scooped them up a little bit, so that pressure down on it too, and then I stomped on it, and it snapped all that stuff.
That's pretty impressive. Holy cow. I've seen 40 splines get hit taking a big shot. We saw it happen to Todd once. He took a nasty shot from a suicide. But, man, there's a lot of stuff going on when you break your own 40 spline axle. That's crazy.
Yeah, this one twisted right in the spool itself. It didn't break on the outside. It went right in the spool.
Wow. There's a lot of stuff going on to cause that. Holy cow.
Yeah, there's a lot of ponies there. To take your words. Holy cow. So what do you do to help fix that going into this show?
I think of that was more of like a freak accident more than anything going on.
You can always put a block under the gas pedal for the first 5 minutes of the heat.
Yeah.
Now, you always run standards, correct?
No, I run automatics.
Do you? I thought you used to run.
Yep.
Didn't?
No, there's, Mike Brown used to.
Yeah, but I thought CJ did as well. Losing my mind in my old age.
That was Pudwitter and Mike Brown used to.
Yeah, okay. Losing my mind in my old age. I apologize. That's on me.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Team Octane, Kyle Pudwitter going to be running with them. Eric Floyd back on the team, Dylan Kunkel in the 26, and they have added Booger in the Y4 to Team Octane. And looking over a little bit further, Mike Worth is going to be with Team Busch Light again. So he's going to be running with Cheesy, Corey Nyhus, and Craig Birkenpaw. So, I mean, Every year it gets better and better.
You notice you're getting more names from back, like when we first started going out, that had taken a whole time off. Booger took a couple years off.
Yeah, Booger was supposed to retire, then he never left.
Yeah,
you can't miss you if you never go, right?
Yeah, so it's cool. I mean, it's the sport is kind of going in circles. Some of the guys that took a little time off are coming back, and like I said earlier, with the Imperials adding a wild card and different rules, it's gonna be wild, man. There's no there's no easy ins, there's no easy runs. You're gonna earn it.
What's your take on the Imperials being added, CJ?
I think they'll be a pretty good car, to be honest with you, if they can keep their lower A arms under them. Mm-hmm. But we went out to Sturgis and we ran against the Imperials out there too with the kickers. Well, I can't remember what year that was, 2016, I think.
Right.
So they did pretty good out there.
So they're going to be a good car, but not good enough for you to build one.
No, I'm more on the new styles because they're a little bit lighter. I can get around a lot better in them. I tried to drive a Sedagon wagon this summer, and just not my cup of tea.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. So, what's the power plant that's going to be in this one?
This one's a D-stroke. It's a 386. Right now, it was 710 on the dyno, and then it'll be turbo 400, and then of course, your 40 spline 9-inch.
Hold on, back up a little bit. Did you say 710 on the dyno?
Yes, sir.
Good Lord. There's race car motors that ain't got that kind of horsepower. Holy cow.
Which I run aluminum heads as well. They're a Brodix head. They're good.
That is insane.
Wow. I'm not sure where that leaves us.
That leaves us as holy cow. That's awesome.
I always heard that it wasn't the power that you needed; that it was the low end torque that you needed to shove stuff around. Is there any theory to having higher horsepower versus more torque?
No, your torque is good too. I mean, with your lower torque, you don't, it's good for pushing, but I always like to be like more of a crowd pleaser most time, and I like the higher RPMs.
Mm-hmm. I'm right there with you. I think you should build for 800 horse next year. That's awesome, man. That's crazy. I can't wait to hear that thing singing.
Does that change your options in terms of what you do with gearing and stuff? Showman aside, in terms of longevity through the weekend, with having that much horsepower, are you able to take some of the load off of that by changing what you're doing with your gearing?
Yes, I can, what you want to call, just putt around as well and not hurt the engine, or I can let it sing with this one.
Well, come Thursday, I hope to hear it singing.
Yeah.
No doubt. That's awesome.
That's excellent, man. Well, I know you've got a lot to do, and I promised that we wouldn't keep you. We're running good on time, so at risk of putting you behind and putting ourselves behind, I'm going to let you go. Anybody that you wanted to make mention of real quick?
Just my friends and family for helping me get this car done and just coming out and watching and helping in the pits.
Awesome. Well, I sure look forward to seeing you out there, and best of luck. Be safe traveling, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you all.
All right, we'll see
Good
you
luck.
later.
Bye.
There goes CJ Barnes.
700 horsepower.
It's fine.
Good Lord.
It's fine.
I remember my brother's big box didn't have 700 horsepower.
Give you a quick peek at the national teams here while we get our next guest lined up.
That is crazy.
We'll dive into this a little bit here. We're going to try and get Ryan Sangolewski on the line here. A couple weeks, we're going to be catching up with Unified Point Series champion Steven Sickles.
Didn't he win like 96 derbies this year?
Something like that. It's fine. He cleaned house.
Yeah, he did.
Hey, Ryan, let me put you in. I was just saying, let me plug you in. It's you're on the air here with Crash Course. Joining Team Calisota Style, Chris Lancaster, Ryan Chivers, Carson Dixon, and Ryan Sangolewski going to be part of the team. Ryan, man, excited to catch up with you out there and watch what happens. It's good to see that you're back on one of the teams here for this year.
Yeah, I'm excited to get back out there. It's not really sure how to feel about it, not having my team out there. pretty much relied on my team to carry us when I run out there. I've been fortunate to have some amazing teammates and got some good teammates this year too. Calisota, they're no slouches. We've ran against them before, and they're definitely some heavy hitters. So looking forward to running with them.
I think this helps jump Calisota Styles rank. Nothing against the team that was there. I always felt like maybe they were a little bit under-considered.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Like people didn't take them nearly as seriously as they should, and this is really going to change things a lot. Again, it's all going to come down to the dynamic of opening night. Your weekend gets a whole lot easier if you can get the W on Thursday. You've been on a couple different sides of that, and sometimes it's not even as much as Thursday's W as it is Wednesday and Thursday morning's tech inspection. That can also make your weekend a lot longer, a lot shorter. Was it tough to make the decision to accept the invite?
The timing of it made it not so hard to accept. My son and I had a pretty good showing there at Metal Mayhem, and after that, I was pretty geeked to get back in a car. So I was looking forward to running. Unfortunately, my normal team of Jason, Gage, and Cordell were unable to come back this year, and I was pretty gung-ho on running, so I was going to run the mod singles myself. And then when Ryan Shivers messaged me saying they needed a teammate, I was on board right away.
And it was the Bob Meyer spot that you're sliding into. Bob not going to be running with Calisota Style, so Ryan jumping in. How about the communication and the build up to this point that you've been able to share with Calisota Style? You've been able to offer them any tips to improve their build. So how's the information sharing been?
I don't think they needed anything from me to improve their build. I've talked to all three members. I met with Carson personally, and I talked to Chivers several times over the course of his build, and we've got a group message going. And I'd say about every other day or something, we were chatting back and forth, and they were moving along pretty well in their car before I even came along.
Cool. Ryan Chivers, I believe the last time he was here, the lift wouldn't lift his car all the way up because he builds things heavy. So looking forward to see what he's got this year. Ryan, are you sticking with the new style, or you got some old style iron this year?
Changed it up a little bit this year. That's all I'll say.
Nice. Looking forward to seeing it then. We've seen you have some pretty good luck and build some pretty nasty Fords. So it'll be interesting to see what you got come Thursday night.
Carson usually brings the 03 out there. So being the newcomer to the team, I didn't want to change that up. So he's going to take the 03, and I'm going to bring something different. I don't know. It'll be a nice little change of pace to come out there. I've run a Ford every year that I've ran. 9 years ago was my first trip out there. I've ran a Ford every year up until now.
And if like I said, it's been a couple of years, but Jason Brudzinski and Ryan Sangolewski, they kind of have a corner on making the noses of those Fords hard. We've seen them run a long time and keep those noses straight, and it's not like they were turning down hits. I mean, they're both very very experienced Ford builders. So it'll be interesting. Hopefully, Ryan is obviously the caliber build. It'll be interesting to see how tough the nose is on whatever he's got. It's going to be pretty neat to watch.
All I can do is cross my fingers and hope for the best.
I just hold it wide open for the first 5 or 10 minutes, and I think you'll be fine.
That usually is kind of my mentality anyway. I was able to. I was pretty shocked when we ran Mayhem back in September that I was able to stay off the pedal. I surprised most of my friends. I was able to stay off the pedal. So I'm looking forward to getting back in a car where I don't have to do that.
Yeah, that's Ryan's past team. There's like 3.5 hammers, and you got a half guy that's sort of driving, but always fun to watch. We've talked to Ryan a lot, off air and a couple of times on air, but definitely one of the great builders and drivers on there. It's like I said, it's got to be, is the excitement building up for you? I mean, are you starting to feel that the typical Blizzard Bash build for this? I mean, is the excitement, the pressure, everything building up?
It's been a different feeling this year. not really sure why. It hasn't been the same. I think part of it is because I've ran with Jason for many years now, and we've ran for several years with Gage and Cordell, and we've become a very tight team. So it's really odd for me to be building a car where they're not part of the build. Like I've talked to all three of those guys throughout this build, but it's just something's different this time. Yep. So I don't want to say the excitement's not there, but it's just not the same going without my regular team. But I am looking forward to it. I've been friends with Chivers for years now, so when Chivers asked me, it was a no-brainer to just say, yeah, hell yeah.
That's cool.
Well, since we can't figure out what car you're going to be running based on the engine combination, what do you got under the hood on this one? We just talked to CJ, and he was telling us about 710 horsepower.
Oh, that's on the low end.
But
I don't run the high horsepower stuff anymore. Once I quit trying to build a bunch of horsepower, and I switched to Collier engines. His setup for me is ideal for what I do. It is just enough horsepower for me to do what I need to do, but not so much that it breaks other parts. I'll give Jeff credit. He's the only engine builder that I've ever ran where I didn't blow the stuff apart.
So he protects you from yourself.
Yeah, he protects me from myself.
You know, Collier, that's a name that's really become popular the last few years. We've heard of a lot of guys running his motors to some very big wins. You know, he's really kind of quietly. You know, guys are picking his stuff up and running and having a lot of success. So that's a pretty tried and true motor combination there. So it's feel good taking that in for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. We've set it up for a couple different years now where we were running behind, and we put the motor and trans in, pressure it all in, and we wouldn't fire it up until the day before we left or when we went to load it on the trailer, because we've never had any concerns at all. We know it's going to run, we know what it's going to do, and we just don't ever have to worry about that. And that makes all of this so much nicer when you don't have to worry about a mechanical failure, when you know your drive line is right and all you have to do is focus on the build. It makes everything so much nicer.
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt.
Did you guys get caught off guard at all by the rule clarification with the cradles and the frames?
No, it wasn't spelled out 100% like that in the rules, but we knew from past years that's how it was going to be.
So
that's good.
It's good to hear. I'm hoping a lot of teams were in that spot that from last year's past year's experience, it didn't catch them off guard too bad.
I saw a couple of comments on Facebook where I was surprised at the number of people that seemed to be caught off guard, because I thought that rule was common knowledge out there. But you take that for granted too. You know, if a team doesn't know that and they just run with how the rule's written, I could see where they could definitely be caught off guard with a rule clarification like that.
Yep,
I can see that.
Definitely.
Yep. Well, I know you got stuff to do. What day are you getting into town? You going to be arriving Tuesday or Wednesday?
We are on the road right now. We're about 200 miles away. We'll be there tonight.
Awesome.
Nice.
Well, hopefully the rest tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock.
Hopefully the rest of it goes smooth. Look forward to catching up with you out there. Travel safe.
All right, thank you.
Have a good one, Ryan.
We'll see you later.
Goodbye.
Of course, Ryan was the inaugural winner of the Capital City Carnage.
You got it. Sure was. Yep. Let's shift gears now. We'll catch up with, I believe these two guys are together right now, and hopefully they are in a spot where one of them can answer the phone.
One's grinding, one's welding, one's,
Well, I don't think they're even working on their own cars.
Oh, really helping other guys.
It's another teammate, so I don't know how much they're gonna divulge. Probably just a flat tire, I'm sure. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Everything's going as planned and they're ready to go?
Yes. That's 100% it. I didn't get Tori's phone number, so. Hey, Mike. Hey, I'm doing okay. Let me put you in. So we got Mike Schmidt and Tory Heid checking in with us here, running with Team CPI at Blizzard Bash here, there. And you guys right now, neither one of you are home. You are at Nathan Gill's shop right now?
Yes, sir.
How's everything going? You guys were busy checking fluids and spark plug wires earlier today.
Yeah, we're putting a tranny in.
How's it going?
No, it could always be better, but we got the tranny guy here doing it for us. So.
Perfect. Life is good.
Yep.
Tell me a little
bit. Stands behind his product. Something weird happened, and that's what it ends up being. We don't know exactly what it was, but it's making it right. It don't get any better than that.
No,
for sure.
How many times have we heard that guys are getting ready to go to a big show and they get everything ready and they go to move the car and it doesn't move? It's one of those derby demons that sneaks up and bites a lot of guys. So, but like you said, it's great the builders there fixing it, man. You can't find any.
Yeah, we made him right. We met him in the middle, so he didn't have to drive his car. He was gonna, we got an issue Thursday and that started working good and went to load it yesterday and zero movement. So.
Great to have the guy stand behind his product, though, man. It doesn't get any better than that.
That's why he'll succeed.
Yep.
Team CPI, David Earl in the 11, Mike Schmidt, who we're talking to right now. Tory Heid is hanging out there in the background somewhere. And
he's working on his tranny.
How did for several times now? We've talked with Tory, and he said he's all done. He's getting out of it. He's done whatever the terminology is. But you guys have found a way to reel him back in one more time. Was that tough to get him recruited?
It ain't hard to get him recruited.
Now, are the rest of your guys' cars pretty?
But he'll probably outdo a lot of 25-year-olds. His work ethic is great. He's avid hunter, busy all the time. The busy thing is probably the hardest part. Especially with Blizzard Bash, harvest, all that, and trying to incorporate and get them done. And it makes it tough. It's harvest season.
Yeah, for
a lot of people. It ain't just him either.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that are out there that are in the agricultural business, and this is a pretty busy time of the year for farmers across the country. So it's I'm guessing it's probably combine all day and then work on a derby car all night, get back in a combine.
They finally finished combine. It comes down to everything else.
Yeah.
Get ready for next year, this and that. March would be a better time, but then March is bad for other people. So it is what it is. Make it all work.
Yep. Now, are the rest of your guys' cars ready or close to being ready?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's put a roof sign on one here, and I think we're ready to go.
Cool.
So, in terms of car selection stuff, some people let us know, some people won't. It seems like after they're done combining, you were able to find another 75 or 74 or 76 two-door GM year after year. Did that same fortune befall you again this year? You going to bring a two-door Chevy?
No two-doors. The same for a rainy day. There's plenty to choose from. We don't have to go far to grab them.
That's interesting.
my four-door was cleaner, so I went with that route. So.
Okay.
Nice.
Interesting. I like it. What do you guys expect in opening night? You're in the national draw. There's no easy pass, and you past Mad Dog winner from Capital City Carnage. What should we expect?
It's going to be rough. It don't matter who we draw. We're all friends when it comes down to it almost. Everyone knows everyone. No one wants to draw anybody, but somebody's going to draw somebody.
Yeah. Chris and I have talked about this off air a bunch of times. Is in both brackets, everybody really knows everybody. I mean, it's
right.
Teams may get shuffled a little bit. Guys may go here, but it's still basically the same guys. You know what I mean? And you know who you're going to be battling against. You know what they do. You know how they drive. So it's people think that there isn't as much driving at Blizzard Bash, but I mean, there's still a lot of driving. I mean, yeah, you can point and shoot, but you also know who you're
point and shoot and wipe your steering off.
yeah, true. But no, I mean, you guys been doing it a long time. You know the other guys, so it just adds another factor to the show. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't want to derby any of them, but I'm gonna have to derby for them. So it is what it is.
True, very true.
Did Tory get a new roof sign yet?
Yeah, he don't have the coyote on there anymore, but he's got the He's still got a resemblance of one. They don't look like a coyote. He gave it away that time, and I don't remember what year it was, to that kid. People were giving road signs away, I think. Keegan? Is it Keegan?
Tegan, yeah.
Yep.
I forgot about
Keegan,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, Tegan Wire has that.
Yeah, he gave it away that day because a bunch of people come up to him and told him, so, it's easy to find you. And he went right on and bolted it. It was a day to donate, so.
That's awesome.
He had said one time, I think we were up in, I want to say maybe Mandan, or maybe it was one of the trips through Topeka. Tory said one time he's got to get a new roof sign because everybody knows the coyote.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
I was wondering if he had gotten a different one. I forgot that he'd put that on the car.
I forgot. Well, it's been.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
that was
had a different
probably
one for a few years.
that'd be what 4 years ago.
I think so.
5.
Yeah, 2016, I believe, or 17 was the last year, man. But 17 or 18 is when I think the original, when he donated that. I think it was Capital City Carnage. It was the year he burned his leg.
Right.
But in the second year of Carnage.
Yeah.
Yep. So that was a while ago.
Yeah. Interesting.
Time flies.
I wonder if Tegan realizes that he has something that could go into the Demolition Derby Hall of Fame sitting somewhere in his house.
True.
Yeah, he gets a year older every year and says he's getting closer to being done. And then springtime comes around and he goes, "Which one are we running?" I said, "Well, I might as well grab that one."
That's awesome.
Well, I appreciate
Funny, we had a good summer this year. So,
How good's a good summer?
what was it? It was the first team show we ran was first, and then the second day we ran it, we took the same cars, worked on them all night. I think it was a first, and I was a second and a fifth, and then we fixed them again. Went up to Beulah and did 1 and 2, and then we hauled them all the way to Fort Benton the next day. Worked on them all night and did 1 and 2 as well with Mad Dogs and Calcutta.
Just keep putting fix-it plates on them. Life is good.
No, I wasn't even fixing place. There was some frame, definitely some big repairs, but they were right after that.
Yeah, I bet. Oh, that's awesome.
And they're in the 3-row ready for another run, so that's always good to us. So.
That's awesome.
Excellent. What's the combination you got under the hood?
377 juice.
Nice.
I had that thing super hot this summer.
Have you had it refreshed since you got it super hot this summer?
Nope.
Okay.
Just keep driving it.
That's what I like to hear.
I love talking.
It's a hell of a piece. I don't know if you can get much better. I mean, there's probably better out there, maybe not, but it's my choice. So.
That's awesome.
And I call him right now. He'll answer the phone. He does great work.
Yep. We've talked the juice before. Definitely.
The oil was what was my oil temp? 405 degrees, and that was at 45 minutes with 600 horse.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
That's
The
terrific.
wind shut off.
That's awesome.
No, I was pretty concerned that I probably hurt something, but I said lash the valves and make sure there ain't no metal in the filter, and that's what it was. I lashed one valve and put oil in it. Away we went.
That's awesome, man.
405. Huh.
Keep running.
Hopefully the pace is fast enough to where you won't have a chance to get the oil that hot.
No, we switched some things. We changed carburetors and fuel, and it should be better.
Nice.
Well, I lost water. I spun my belts in like 5 minutes into the 45-minute heat, so.
That's not good.
What's the carburetor change going to do in terms of keeping the oil temperature down?
No, more fuel.
More
Just
fuel.
add more fuel to it? Gotcha. Is that going to be methanol or race fuel?
Methanol.
Awesome.
Runs cooler.
Mike is going to be a lot of fun to watch. We talked to CJ a little bit earlier. Said he was much more interested in being a showman and putting on a show. Is that the mentality of most of the teams, that they just want to go out there and put on a show, or are there folks that are out there definitely dialed in on winning? How about for your team?
Well, I think we're there to win, but we're also there for the show. We're there for the stands. I mean, if my kids are at home watching on TV, I got to make them proud. So.
It's awesome.
Can't wait. It's going to be fun. Team
Yeah.
CPI is going to be out there. I forgot to do this with Ryan. Calisota Style always has huge support from NLR.
Oh, yeah.
I know there's a couple other people that are making it possible. Mike, I'm going to leave Tory so that he can keep finishing the transmission stuff. And
Are you sure? He's standing right here.
Oh, if he's right there, yeah, we'll catch up with him.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks for
Thank
everything
you.
you do.
Have a good one.
Hey, Chris, what's up?
Hey, Tory, what's going on?
Oh, just living the life.
Another
Ordering
easy,
a tranny in one day before check time.
another easy week of Blizzard Bash, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we haven't even made it. And it's already enjoyable.
So, is this the spare that you were going to bring in the trailer?
What's that?
Is this the spare transmission that you were going to bring in the trailer, or is this just one of the many that was going to make the trip?
This is a spare that we picked up on our way down there.
All right.
To
Well,
Blizzard Bash.
yeah, that's
The tranny builder was very gracious enough to meet us by Nathan's place here with a different transmission and help us get it put it in there, and we'll be back at it.
So we've talked a bunch of times in the last probably 5 years, 6 years, 7 years even. Wow. I feel very old when we start doing the math backwards. And every time I hear it, it's like almost done. And then like Mike was just telling us, he said spring comes around and you get sucked right back into it. Is Demolition Derby ever something that's going to end for you?
Is what?
Are you ever going to get out of the sport? You're always telling us that you're all done and you're all done and all done year after year, but every year November comes around and we see your name on the entry list.
Well, I turned 50 this year, so I don't know. We'll see. They're still fun to build and they're fun to drive. So as long as the good Lord lets me keep doing it, I guess it'll be a few more years, I'm sure.
Awesome. Sounds like you had a real good summer this year too. So you got a little bit of momentum going into Blizzard Bash. Is it like riding a bike, or does that really help get things and get the confidence up when you pull out onto the track in Topeka?
Well, it's we went up against a lot different competition all summer. I'm not saying that these guys aren't Blizzard Bash capable guys, but definitely going to Blizzard Bash, you got to up your game a little bit. I mean, the caliber of drivers you're going up against is a lot greater.
Yeah, that's it's just a different dynamic, and we've talked at length here about some of the drivers that could go out there and very much could compete, could very much be part of the show, and they just don't because they're intimidated by the cost or the build or whatever the situation might be. So taking nothing away from them, you also don't have the build itself really anyplace else. The preparation, you don't see anybody bringing a pre-run car to Blizzard Bash, and they got months sunk into this. How much time have you got buried in your car?
Most of it's
How long have you been building on that car that you've got ready to go?
Well, part of it we could most of us can honestly say we started on it 2 years ago, and we were able to finish it this year. But once Blizzard Bash got canceled 2 years ago, the frame got pushed back outside. Coming into it this year, it's like, well, the frame's ready to go. We just got to start putting the body on. The figure hours, that idea a lot. It's Blizzard Bash. You're gonna not one bolt, not one weld, not anything. Everything you do is got to be to the T. It's you're going against a lot of good guys that are doing the same. You got to.
It's something like nothing else. We talk about it so many different times, and I don't want it to be a broken record, but the effort that goes into this, and I hope that the show matches the wait. We have been waiting a very, very long time.
Oh yeah, I have no doubt.
Out there.
I have no doubt. If there's a way for Blizzard Bash to become more fast paced or more hard hitting, I think this will be it. Because guys have, like you said, have been waiting 2 years. I think there's going to be a sense of urgency, and the shows we went to this year for the most part, they were, guys just seemed more aggressive. Guys seemed more after it, more into it. So. If there was a way to make Blizzard Bash, even more off the chain, this would be a way to do it.
When you put that frame back outside, did that go into like some sort of curing process and cryogenic outside?
Through a lot of rusting process.
In Ohio, they like that rust. They call it rust fixing, and because magically cars don't bend, so we'll see how it goes.
What did you do over here? I don't know. It must be rust. No, don't look over there.
Yep, sounds like you played that same game.
Well, I'm excited to catch up with you out there. Hopefully the rest of the night goes smooth for you. I don't want to keep you all night long. Anybody that Team CPI wants to make mention of? Did we lose Tory? Might have lost Tory. Sounded like he was breaking up a little bit there.
Yeah.
Don't get good reception when you're underneath a car.
No.
Right. But I don't know. You good?
We got you hit and miss. It's breaking up.
Are you still there?
Yes, we are. Yep.
I said you got the imps and the suicides coming this year, so it's just it's going to be a change of. It's going to be a change of car, change of everything. I mean, I know we're excited to come down, and as well as everybody else. I think it's going to be a real good show.
You have an Imperial?
Oh, I didn't bring one, no.
No.
Do I have Imperials yet?
I just want to go out and walk through the cars. Be like, damn.
I'm not too afraid of them. I'll just say that.
I like that.
We got some good cars, as we always had in the past. And we'll see what the Buicks can. We'll see what the Buicks can do.
I don't think there's anybody that runs Blizzard Bash that's afraid of anything.
No.
No, otherwise you're in the wrong show, wrong atmosphere, wrong frame of mind.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody that's scared of anything at Blizzard Bash. That's for sure.
No.
You guys are definitely, we've been to a lot of shows, but Blizzard Bash is just that one notch up, man. It's so intense.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be a good time. I'm happy to be able to come back down here this year, and hopefully, if we can continue the luck what happened with us this summer, it'll be a good show.
Is there anybody that CPI wants to mention or recognize that help gets the team to Topeka?
I don't know. I mean, David Earl, he's on our team. Brody Bond will be there to help in the pits and everything. I don't know, just everybody. I mean, we got a lot of guys, a lot of people traveling from North Dakota to come down and watch, and from elsewhere. So we'll put on a show. I'm not too worried about that.
Hey, just a little off topic, but have you had your first snowfall yet out there?
No. It was 50-some degrees when we left.
Wow.
The current isn't quite picked up, but as soon as I get home, it's going to happen.
A friend of mine was just in North Dakota on business, and I was like, you're going to have like 6 inches of snow out there, but he was out there last week, so he made out all right, though.
Yeah, no, they're not forecasting it for a few weeks away, so.
Nice.
It can stay away for a little while. We'll get it eventually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. One day closer to the spring already.
Right.
All right, Tori. We'll catch up with you down there. Travel safe.
Oh, all right. Nice talking to you.
See you now.
Have a good one.
Yeah, bye.
Right on time.
Tory Heid and Mike Schmidt with Team CPI. We're going to take a minute now. We'll run
Pay some
through.
bills.
What's that?
Pay some bills?
Sort of. I just want to give a chance to run through some of the teams that are going to be out there. Iron City Promotions going to be out there. Steve Siopa, Toast Olivius, Rhett Gluey, and Joey Pernice running together. Steve in the 002. Team Kansas, Justin Montgomery, Chad Markley, Barry Clemens, and Brent Clemens running together for Team Kansas.
I bet Chad Markley has a wagon.
Safe bet. Team Unknown, Jackson Bernstein and Justin Bernstein. Those are the guys that had the Lucky 7 cars, the wagon from a couple years ago. John Haas and Corey Peterson out there with Team Unknown. Team Blackout, Kurt Brinkman, Brian Rolls, Jared Heaney, and Colton Newhoff. And that's a couple of members of Team Extreme getting back together for
Great to see
Team
Colton
Blackout. It is good to see Colton back. Team America, Brian Bryington, Phil Scheel, Derek Shelley, and Casey Smith coming back there. Don't see a couple of the common names that we might expect to see on that crew, but Team America, they won their way in a couple years back to get the national draw. Team TBL, we talked about them, Cheesy, Worth, Corey Nyhouse, and Birkenpass running together as that group. We just talked about Earl Schmidt, Hyde, and Gill for Team CPI. XP Derby Products, these guys, black, blue, and orange. Johnson Wrecking Crew, Zach Johnson, Troy Johnson, Daryl Ewing, and Chris Collins going to be out there for XP Derby Products. Team IFD on the ledger, Eric Blom in the 12E, Dustin Ingram in the 6210, Daryl Monroe in the 18.5, adding Trevor Jones in the 727 to that group. GWC 448 Designs picked up a win out there in one of the support classes Last time we were in Topeka, Jacob Prusman in the 448 going to be joining Mike Gaines in the number 62, Chris Klinger in the 145, and Tyler Tews in the number 10X. No-namers we talked about. Dial Stark, McCracken, and Barnes. Team Octane, Pudawitter, Floyd, Kunkel adding Booger to the team for this year. Crazy Iowans, they've won their way in. Jerry Lyerly was the one that put some of those finishing touches on that qualifying bracket victory. James Kitchell back on the team. Justin Ferricks, Lane Ferricks going to be out there with the Iowans. WRP, this team adding Tim Lang to the crew, number 42. Tim Lang, we've seen him out there in Cordobas and all sorts of Mopars, so fingers crossed. You want to connect those dots. Returning to that team, Kenny Rosno, Matt Hoffmeister, and Jared Van Gameren in the number 98. Team near it is going to be Ryan Durham and Bobby Whitaker. Those guys coming back with Terry Timmons and Brandon Johnson. Brandon Johnson on the team one more time. We saw him with a wagon paired up with Bobby Whitaker last time we were out there for Team near it.
Bet you Bobby Whitaker has a wagon.
I didn't even question it. I don't know if I've ever seen him drive anything that wasn't a wagon.
Yeah, I've seen him drive some sedans.
Calisota Style, the Magician, Chris Lancaster, Ryan Shivers, Carson Dixon, and Ryan Sangolewski. And let's...
Bet you Chris Lancaster has the guard inside of the 502 Caddy.
You think maybe that's the case? Let's see if this will work for us. And it did. Excellent. So we can jump right into the qualifying side of things. We're going to get Corey Ludington here in just a moment. Killer Trans is going to be Cody Adams, Dalton Palmer, Blake Neely, and Jason Kinman. Cody Adams had that great run. I think it was last time we were out there. So we'll be seeing him. Not for Hire, Jeremy Pratt, Arthur Sukkot, Devin Groneveld, and Corey Bunnell. MHM, Tory Burkhart, going to be making the toe back out there one more time. He's got Matt Schilling on the team, the number 73, Tyler Etel, and the 181, Jordan Booth, going to be running with them. Team BCR is Brian Frank, Brandon Frank, Dan Sanders, and Cody Robertson. Team FTS, Nate McMahon, Sean Porth. We had Sean on the show, Marshall Dorsett, and Tim Toddy. Jay's Graphics, George Hinote's crew, PJ Schnarr, Clint Shepard, Scott Shepard, and Brandon Kilcoyne going to be out there. Almost Famous. Love the name of this team. Aaron Harrington, Revan Newbound, Sean Studham, and Jamie Kreidelbaugh, Full Arena. Hopefully they live up to that name. Here's a couple names you're probably going to recognize. Adam Hoffbeck, Corey Klug, Timmy Gomont, Richard Gomont, going to be part of Full Arena. Zur Engineering, Michael Zur, Spencer Harrington, Coy Chandler, and Chris DeMaranville. Team HLK is Brian White, Tyler Brangers, Jason Koch, and Zach Eaton. This, again, the qualifying teams. RPM Redemption, Rick Quast, Tyler Quast, Hunter Quast, and Derek Creetlow. Converter Reclaim, Anthony Tripler, Bronson Twitchell, Travis Weiner, and Sam Bando. Jokers Wild, Braden Lawson, Matt Raymer, Curtis Hammond, and Tony Miller. Team IMP, Kyle Lopez, Tristan Whitehead, Ronnie Valdenar, and Heath Schulte. And then Team Last Minute, Charles Billman, Dane Ash, Cody Julik, and Justin Burke. Now let's make one more change and run through these guys one more time, and then we will get we'll go through the limited world side.
Can you
that one more time?
Not to interrupt, but can you take a picture off Facebook and put it on? Because you may want to check out Jason Dial's post. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Okay. Yeah. Limited World teams, we're going to be catching up with Corey Ludington here in just a moment. He is going to be running on that crew in that bracket with Limited World teams. Can you guess what I'm doing? Because I'm super distracted.
Calling somebody.
Kansas Outlaws is going to be out there. Justin Stephen, Clint Doherty, Douglas Gibson, and Brandon Conkle. The Outsiders, Bo DeRusso, Jeremy Lossie, Joseph Hoffer, Peyton Connolly. It's going to be a good group. Team Ass Kicker, Zach Ponzer, Brady Larson, Eric Toddy, and Brett Stringer. Turn out for what? Love that. Dan Batdorf, Jaden Batdorf. Hey, Corey. Corey in there, so we can catch a couple thoughts from Corey. I know he's busy tonight. Taylor Batdorf and Brandon Carrolls. Team NTB, Jace Lay, Clint Wolf, Jeff Boyer, and Jason Fisk. Team Twisted, Brad Darling, Nick Schroeder, Ryan Herzog, Mike Zimmerman. Show Me Sliders, Corey Ludington. Going to be riding with Mr. Excitement, Vic Whaley, Justin Hill, and Junior Cardwell. Caddy Nation, Robbie Ortreyu, Teddy Papadopoulos, and Mason Larson. Team Full Send, Kyle Johnson, Chris Kraus, Les Syme, and Alex Augury. Team IIDP, Tyler Schaefer, Tony Sharp, Sam Freeman, Jeremy Bartlett, Team Wiggs, Jessica Thompson, Blake Thompson, Steve Wiggins, and CJ Holmberg. Derby Tees is going to be Andrew Carmichael, Lance Pritchett, Lucas Pritchett, and Willie Lochner. That's going to be a good crew. Team HRT, CJ Ravel, Cody Raver, JR Fortune, and Josh Hutchinson. Les is more, Quentin Tim, Jason Booker, Nate Areo, and Lane Hall. There's a run on the limited well teams. We'll get into the compacts here in just a moment. We got Corey Ludington on the line to hang out with us here for a few minutes. How are things looking for Show Me Sliders?
We're looking pretty good. Cars loaded in the trailer and ready to head out in the morning.
Wow.
It's taken a little bit for you guys to get the chance to defend that championship from last time, if my memory serves right.
No, actually, we got second last time we was out there. Caddy Nation got first, and we got second. So we're still trying to get that first place.
Oh, geez, you guys. It was a team of 8.
Yeah.
What would it mean to make that jump, that one more spot, to pick that spot up?
Well, it'd be, that's the best that we can ask to do in the limited world teams out there is to be the champion, and that's what we're all going to do, and it's going to be a task, and there's a lot of good drivers, good builders on that list, and so forth, so we'll have a work cut out for us, but we hope to be there.
I was just going to touch on that. When you were going through the names, we've mentioned numerous names off that list as winning big shows and being right there at the end of big shows this year. There is not a class that doesn't have guys that are just at the top of their game. It's and the limited weld is, the cars aren't as heavily built as the national or the qualifying. So you really have to pick your shots more. You have to be more precise. So it's this show it just gets harder and harder every year, man. It's it doesn't matter where you're running. You're going to earn whatever you get. That's for sure.
Corey, I just wanted to follow up on some of the changes that were on the table for the limited weld. I think you guys were allowed a different engine plate combination. You have a different hump plate as well, and then you've got some window bar changes as well for the limited weld teams this year. Is that correct?
Well, I think the only thing that really has changed is the windshield bars. I think the hump plate deal you're talking about was kind of just somebody rigging into the gray areas, and they kind of shot that down.
Oh, okay.
And I think that was mostly just due to copy and paste error on someone's part. The windshield bars, we used to be able to get 3-inch wide by 3/8 flat bar from the roof to the firewall. Now they want us to have 2x2 tubing, 2 pieces from the halo to the dash bar. I've been seeing a lot of people not like it. I don't know. I guess it just depends on how creative you get with them, on whether or not you really do like them. It's just part of it. We got to build to the rules and please the tech. So we'll see how that goes.
Somebody just asked in the live chat, why is it so important to have such a hard car? You gotta love derby, and you gotta love what you do to go out there, and at some level you also have to love layered concussions because the cars are so hard. Limited welds are a little bit softer, but it's still on the top end of limited weld. A lot of those limited weld cars that you see out there would be mod cars here at home, anywhere else. So one of the reasons why the cars have to be so hard is because they have to endure basically 4 features. Limited welds don't have to go quite as extensive a bracket, but you have to run the car so many times. You have to have something left to fix. The harder you make the car, something behind is going to break. Is it, since you've been on all sides of it now, is it easier to put the limited weld cars back together or the weld cars for like the national side?
I think they all pretty well. Obviously a mod car is a little bit heavier build, and it's going to take some more time. But I think that over the years we've learned and learned different angles and different ways to see things on the light weld side of things that we're putting in just as much work, maybe not quite as much, but plenty of work anyways, I guess I should say. I've taken some of my Blizzard Bash light weld cars and added to them and run cleanup mod shows with them, and I've competed with the guys that are running mods out there. I've done pretty much all I've done was added to make my bumper brackets 18 inches, and I've put aftermarket spindles on them, and pretty much it's the same car for a fair show, and you get, I think, 2 more plates And then if you go to like an end of the year show or something, they may let you have a couple more plates here or there. But all in all, I mean, there's a lot of work goes in all of them. But I think we got our things we do, and they've got their things that they do. So,
first I wanted to say, I think the lighter car is a little bit more predictable. But then as we started going through the rules, it's like you're checking each of these boxes, and they're still just as hard. And everybody that's been going out there for so long still knows how to get the cars to do what they need to do, whatever division you're. The compact guys are doing just as much work too. They got to go just as many rounds. They got to do just as much, and they're mod compacts. So, I mean, they're doing just as much, and they're so hard because they
have to be. Yes. Yep. Without a doubt.
They just simply have to be. What's the combination for this year?
73 Cadillac frame, 76 body, 2-door coupe. Pretty much the same build as I've always taken out there. I'm running 6 LS, just GHE 400 turbo transmission, 9-inch rear end, 40 spline, and of course got Show Me Slider drive shaft and Show Me Sliders pedals, battery box, steering shaft. I'd give myself a little plug there.
Absolutely, man.
Awesome. Well, have you said you're all loaded up, ready to roll out, and nothing, no finishing touches that you got to do when you get down there into the parking lot?
Oh, we all know that there'll be something that'll pop in our heads when we get there that we'll change or do something to it. But for the most part, it's been in the trailer for at least a week, as I got tired of adding stuff to it and overthinking stuff. So I said the heck with it, went and loaded it up and locked the doors, and now I'm just finishing up some sliders for people that's ordered them and just getting ready we're going to head out tomorrow morning.
How many sliders are you bringing with you to deliver?
I actually only pre-sold, I think, 12 because I offered a little sale, but I'm going to try and bring those 12 plus about 15 or 20 extras. So
in his spare time, he's building parts. Crazy, man. Derby's, you're in or you're out, and it's usually you're in. So it's awesome, man.
Yeah, I started the slider thing was just basically to be a deal just for the local guys here, and then next thing you know, I've got them in California, I've got some in Canada, I've got some in New York. I mean, they're all over the place, and it's unreal the stuff that people purchase for derby cars, and then and then there's got the guys that don't even know about some of these parts, and it's just it's a crazy sport, and I think the sky's the limit on it.
Oh yeah. If we and Derby's proved it. I mean, if you can think of it, somebody could build it. I mean, you look at look at the stuff we have now from when we all started. It's crazy.
Right.
Well, Corey, man, I look forward to catching up with you down there, and hopefully Show Me Sliders can move out that one spot. I mean, it really couldn't have ended any better with Caddy Nation and Show Me duking it out there at the conclusion of it, and maybe this year the podium will stay the same, but the order will change.
I'd be all right with that.
All right, man. Well, thanks a lot for making some time for us tonight. We'll catch up with you down in Topeka.
All right, no problem. You guys have a safe trip out.
We'll see you now.
See you.
Corey Ludington making the trip out. I can remember where the cars were, and I can see the green, and I can see Corey, and I thought I was so sure of it I didn't even go look at the results. I thought for sure.
You've had another concussion since then.
Probably 2.
At least.
I think 2. Yeah, I thought for sure he got it. Well, I mean, it'd be good. It's always fun to catch up with Corey. Teddy's going to be making the trip back out there with the Hewers. The Hewers have been winning a bunch of stuff all summer long, so it's going to be good.
Yeah, no doubt.
I don't know how much more we can say about it. I'm very excited about it. The Weld Compact crew. Let's tell you a little bit about those guys. They do just as much work, for sure. Team Domination Motorsports, Kevin Ullman, Scott Mulder, Tyler Ford, and Levi Skillman. Compact wins. I've lost count just in terms of that quartet right there. Team TWS, Jacob Johnson, Logan Johnson, Andrew Spitzer, and Flint Roberts, Gray Demo Parts, Ralph Legis, RJ Legis, Zane Kowalski, and then Dane Kelly. A Wright is going to be Don Reno, Derek Dudley, Brad Smith, and Juan Velasquez. Last minute, Nick Bergen, Josh Bergen, Nick Celeste, and Dan Hondred. Minnesota Madness, Jared Fisher, Mike Koch, Nate Bindorf, and Andy Ox. So those guys, I believe, they're the ones that won last time we were out there. Wasn't it?
I don't
Nate
remember.
Bindorf's crew? I think so. I'm trying to remember now. Jeremiah Adams, Jamie Sonic, Corey Peterson, Randy Maslowski going to be joining SAF. Look at the first letters. You can figure out what that was. A to Z Design. Andrew Johannes, Scott Johnson, Brian Lenz, and Blake Vanderwall. A to S is going to be Tony Brellinger, TJ Irvin, Tyler Irvin, and Scott Nanny. Team DRT, Tanner Nelson, Walker Nelson, Riley Stoltz, and Tim Koch. Bash Boys going to be Richard Michael, Kenneth Duff, Travis Sawyer, Elaine Sawyer, Redneck Thunder, Brad Ross, Josh Roper, Bailey Bratz, and Mitch Tomka. Mitch Tomka, I remember he got a lot of attention when he brought that mid '80s like a Buick Regal or a Grand National or something, those monster truck tires on the back. That's the Capital City Carnage. Plum Crazy, Tracy Miller, CJ Schlosser, Gus Farthing, and Amy Schlosser, and then Team Ham, Tyler Kraft, Carter Rorick, Josh Brown, and Taylor Kane going to be that group. So there's your World Compacts.
You know who I'd like to see out there?
What?
Team Rutzfab.
I think they went.
Did they?
I thought there was a Ruts Fab group out there one time.
Did they sponsor one? I'd like to see
Nick King's crew. Nick King brought cars out there. I think
I'd like to see the Rutherfords and.
You want to bring a bunch of AMCs out there?
Yeah, that'd be nasty.
That would be cool. All right, and then just to give you the final rundown on what to expect, inspections are going to start Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock, showtime 6 o'clock on Thursday, Friday 6 o'clock, Saturday 9 a.m., and the Twin Bill follows up at 6 o'clock Sunday. Championship Sunday is at noon. Thursday is the National Qualifying Round number 1. Friday, National Qualifying Round 2 in the 8's Bone Stock plus the Street Stock Weld class. Saturday morning, Compact and Limited Weld opening round. For those teams, Trucks and Limited Weld single run in the morning as well. Saturday afternoon, National Qualifying B features, Compact and Limited Weld B features in the mod single and front wheel drive. Hobo stocks, Sunday, 2-man extreme class, plus the Compact and Limited Weld Team A features and the National and Qualifying Team A features. That is the rundown on Blizzard Bash right there. So we have run through pretty much everything that we were going to try to get to in this episode. The last thing we got to do is call and see how calm Tim Clark is. How do you think things are going?
Well, we're going to find out.
The show is going to be streamed on Derby Nation. Once again, it'll have the program with a few minutes of a pre-show, so to say, Thursday through Sunday. It'll be on Derby Nation. Make sure you jump online and check that out. There is a weekend pass available as well. Hey, Tim, let me put you in.
So, Tim, everything is going amazing. It couldn't be better. And you're relaxing with a beer right now, right?
Actually, I headed back from Walmart picking up all my stuff.
All right.
For feeding everybody.
Oh, gotcha. So, how's it going?
It's doing awesome, man. I mean, the track's going in, the walls are going in right now. Everything's set up inside for inspection, so it's going really great. It's going to be a hell of a week, that's for sure.
Is everything dry?
Everything's dry. I mean, it's pretty nice out here, really. I mean, hell, people's walking around in T-shirts today.
Nice.
So, they say it might rain on Wednesday, but, who knows. But I think the dirt looks great. I think it's going to be a hell of a show.
Everybody that we talked to has said they're going out there with the intention of winning, but they're also going out there with the back of their mind. They're thinking they want to put on a show for all the fans. It's been 2 years. Usually opening night is one of the most chaotic nights of Demolition Derby contested in the country. Do you think it's possible that it could get more crazy since some of these drivers have been waiting 2 years to wreck these cars?
Exactly. Everybody's been waiting. I think some of these cars have probably been built for 2 years, but... it's going to be a hell of a show. I think it's going to be probably sold out for a couple nights. So if you're going to come and you better get your passes early.
Well, I mean, as nice as that is to think about, I know it's probably going to be a sold out ticket online too. There's going to be a ton of people that have their eyes on this. The fantasy league stuff's coming together, so people have been making their selections in that. I guess at this point, the only thing left to do is to get into Topeka and start wrecking cars. how has everything gone for this year? What's the feedback been from some of the teams? There's been a handful of rule clarifications that have gone out. The feedback from the teams, it seems like everybody's been willing to find a way to roll with it. What have you been hearing?
No.
He probably had to check out. Either that or he's going by that weird low spot across the street from Denny's where there's no cell reception in downtown Topeka.
Denny's the only place we can eat at 1 o'clock in the morning. What's that?
Or he wants no part of that conversation. No dead spot.
What's that turkey sandwich called that we all ate?
Superbird.
Superbird.
Yeah, Superbird. That's the best.
4 of them.
That's good stuff. Yep. Oh, man, it has been busy in the chat. Eugene Williams, he was asking about why everything had to be so hard. Ryan Davis, he's taken he's taking his better half out there, so she knows why everybody always talks about it. Dylan Goodwin still checking in, making sure that everybody's having a good time. Liver Weld is definitely pretty hard. There is Trey Welch checking in, and Alex Vasco was in the chat as well.
Did the phone go dead?
No.
Still shows he's on there?
It shows that we're on the call still. The phone's not dead yet at all. I don't know. He might have hit the mute button. He was holding on to it like this.
I'm thinking he's probably got a hands-free device because I'm thinking he's probably talking to people from Ohio all the way out there.
I'm sure.
We could hang up and call Tim Jr. see what he thinks of his first foray to Topeka.
Yeah, well, we got a minute or two here.
Yep. Are you back?
Sounds like.
Is he calling you back? Uh-oh.
We got you back, Tim?
You guys back with me?
Yeah.
How you doing?
We're doing all right.
Must be you drove through a dead spot.
I can hear you guys. You must not be able to hear me. I'm only in Topeka, Kansas. It ain't that hard to hear on the phone.
Right. I trust you can hear us now. How's the feedback been in terms of the drivers with a couple of those rule clarifications that came out the last couple of weeks?
Well, of course, drivers don't like it. I mean, but it's in black and white. There's a couple of rule things that people was calling about, had some way overbuilding, and so we had to kind of put that out there. Mm-hmm. Especially the motor mount ordeal. Mm-hmm. But I think everything else is on good.
Perfect.
Good.
These drivers always they'll build and build and build, and I guess us inspectors have to keep them on one side of the fence. Don't let them go clear over top of it.
Prime case of cops and robbers. The criminals are always ahead of the the rule makers, right?
Exactly. They try to be anyway.
So Tim, it's been a couple years. I mean, how's it feel to be back out in Topeka? I mean, you've.
It feels great, really. It's been 2 years. I mean, very excited about this show. I mean, it's going to be a hell of a show. I think it's going to be great. I think everybody that's working is excited to be back. I'm definitely excited to be back, and I think the drivers are excited to be back.
How's now we touched on earlier, your son Tim Jr. has kind of come in to smash it with you this year and has started working. What's he saying about it? I mean, there's not too much has happened yet, but I mean, does he seem to be excited? I mean, what's
he's excited, really, crazy when we got out here. We've been out here one other time and looked at the building. Me and him came out and looked at it for a week, and he's very excited. He's actually stepped up. He got out of college, had a job. Then, of course, everybody knows Russ passed away that did most of the stuff on the book work, and I just brought him in on it. So he's doing a great job.
Yeah.
We haven't had a chance to see the completed complex now that they've done that addition, blowing out that back wall. How is the facility?
It is humongous inside. It is great. And even over where the teams over in Domer Hall, and then the breezeway, everybody calls it breezeway, it's all, fenced in now and steel and doors on it. So the whole building's enclosed. So it's going to be great. So, I mean, even if the weather's bad, we're going to put teams inside the building if they want to be. You got some teams got their own tents outside, and so I think it's going to be great.
Awesome.
Sounds good. Well, I know you've got your hands full. I just wanted to call and catch a couple of quick thoughts from you. Appreciate you making some time for us, and look forward to catching up with you Wednesday afternoon.
All right, we'll see you soon.
All right, we'll see you later.
All right, bye.
There goes Tim Clark. So many sponsors help make this thing possible. It's quite the event. Smash It, helping carry the torch for Blizzard Bash, moving into the new era of Blizzard Bash a couple of years ago, and here we are.
What do you think, Chris?
I think we should note that Jeff Hughes Fab Farm, his machine, his engine still ran like a top, even though the bumper was wrapped around the A pillars. Started with rear ends in 06. Jeff Hughes Fab Farm expanded to headers in 08. The shop can boast a combined 70-plus years of mechanical skill. Consistent feature wins across North America. Out of the Fab Farm fold, your turnkey solution is only a phone call away. The Fab Farm Camry in a Box campaign sets you up for success with a retail price of $525. You need to ask about the multi-shifter options. You'll also find fuel and air parts, suspension and transmission items, steering components, pedal switches, and gauges if you need it. It's at the farm, jeffhughesfabfarm.com. Check out the virtual store and order now. Smith Metalworks, we're going to see some of the Smith Metalworks parts in use out there with
Casey's running, isn't he?
Yeah, with Team America. So yeah, he's going to be back up there with them. 40-plus years of combined metalworking experience there. The hallmark of the product line is the pointed flat front bumpers, the super stock bumper. They're going to have those things all kinds of loaded up.
You think?
Out there, they can be stuffed or run hollow. There's a compact version. Cut the ends off, but make it fit for what you need it to do. Other items include Crown Vic door skins, battery boxes, engine mounting systems, pedal combos, and shifters. The shop offers all the odds and ends as well, such as distributor clamps and welding centers. Be sure to ask about the GM floor liners, in-person locations in Mercer, Uniontown, and Bethlehem. Visit smithmetalworks.info for more. Experience and passion, second to none. And here we are, on the verge of it.
I think it's time to put his fork in it.
Yep, we got through quite a bit tonight. Covered everything that we had hoped to. Covered stuff that we didn't know we were going to. And sounds like Walmart is going to be hopping all week long.
Always.
So looking forward to getting out there, hanging out with Steve from Derby Nation. Steve Buckman, we're going to be seeing him out there. George Hineout, Chris Grainer, all the production guys. I'm looking forward to seeing them.
Most importantly, the best in the business, Chris Marquardt, back on air. Be great to hear him. He never he'll never say it himself, but there isn't anybody better than Chris Marquardt. So good luck to you. Hope you have a great show. We will be watching one street over from the house, so it's gonna be a fun show.
And I got a story for you about last night. My kids were forced to grow up very fast last night.
See you, Mike.
All right, we'll see everybody out there. Travel safe. We'll see you out there at Blizzard Bash.
The Crash Course Live is presented by
Smash It Demolition Derby, who host Bash for Cash, Blizzard Bash, and Capital City Carnage. Online at smashitderby.com. And Stirring Dirt Racing, hosts of Maymania's team show at the Golden Spike Arena in Ogden, Utah. Online at stirringdirtracing.com.
Reckless Abandon Derby Apparel and Derby Inc. Magazine. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast, recorded live at the FingerLakes1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York.